Welcome back, everybody. If you are a new listener, you might be like, whoa, who in the heck is this? What is this girl voice? Well, I haven't been on in a while.
Yep.
We've had kind of a big run here of Scott doing interviews with other people. So,
Yeah, it's some amazing guests on here lately. It's been
we
awesome.
love being able to bring you like what we consider good information that's out there. So, Scott's had a big run of interviews. So, yes, I just haven't been on in a while. And we've got a lot of new listeners here lately. So we figured this would be just a good chance to kind of do a quick little like reintroduction to ourselves and to what exactly it is that we do other than this podcast, because we do have other things.
We do.
Yeah.
We do a lot of other things.
Yeah. So anyway, Scott and Kati, longtime landscapers. And in a nutshell, we're here for you.
Yeah. Well, basically, just a quick backstory on this is, my dad started a landscape business and we became incorporated in '88. I kind of just grew up in the field, progressed my way up through the business, and we started seeing there's some issues what we can see inside the business as far as we didn't have the money. We're busy working and
We had the revenue, we had the sales.
Oh yeah, but the funds weren't there in the bank, and it was just made things very difficult being in that position. So we started questioning things. Kati kind of stepped in at that point.
Yeah, I left the job that I was at. I was pregnant with our first son. So I was like, well, I'll just come join the family business. So that kind of gave me the time to dig into numbers and kind of look around at things. Because not everybody has that luxury of having, like, I wouldn't say an extra person. I mean, I was serving my role, but we were finally big enough to the point to where I could worm around and look at numbers and kind of do that kind of stuff.
I was still out in the field. I was doing a lot of water features. And so Katie was able to start digging into some of these numbers and started finding out stuff's not right.
Yeah, well, there's a lot to it. And we are not special. We were no different than literally every other landscaper that we've talked to. We just didn't know. We had never been taught. Your dad had never been taught. Everything was just kind of like running by the seat of your pants and doing, just what all the other landscapers are doing, just talking to everybody else. And so we were finally able to hire a coach. We hired a business coach. We attended a bunch of trainings. We, got VHS tapes. We just, we learned as much as we could.
Yeah.
So we were finally able to, like I said, kind of just have that luxury of having somebody who was able to just kind of do a lot of this learning. So we could be taught, because we didn't go to school for business. And even if you go to school for like landscape architecture and all that kind of stuff, you don't necessarily learn this, like how to run a little mom and pop landscaping business. So
Yeah, because I went to school actually for computer networking, and then I started taking some business courses. Of course, networking doesn't do me any good.
Computer networking didn't really help.
Yeah, it doesn't help.
Well, my background is in forestry and land management, so natural resource management. So yeah, once again, didn't really equate to running a business, but that capacity to learn and the willingness to check yourself and be like, okay, what is going on here?
Yeah.
You kind of have to put your ego aside and be like, what is going on? So.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, we learned everything we could. We learned a lot from the coach consultant guy, and just gathered as much as we could and started really working on our business. With Katie in the office, looking at those numbers, we were able to see like, oh, we needed to be charging more. We weren't recovering all our overhead. That was a big one. We didn't have systems and procedures in place, so the crews were just basically kind of waiting on us as owners to direct them what they needed to do for the day.
And once again, this is all just kind of basic business stuff that seems secondhand to us now, but we just didn't know that that's what we were supposed to be doing.
Well, no. And then, we were just told, just do more sales. And
that's a common thing that you hear. Is like, oh, you just got to sell your ass off. Just sell. Which, of course, revenue is great, but you can only, if you're not keeping the profits, then it doesn't do you a lot of good. I mean, we were doing close to like 2 million and still didn't have a ton of profits. So you can only slap lipstick on a pig for so long. You have to figure out what's going on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So once we started diving in and started really looking at, we were undercharging our customers. I mean, it was good for them, but it wasn't good for us. And, and started just doing those system procedures. It made a huge difference in our business.
Getting our numbers straight, so we were charging enough. Key. Getting systems and procedures in place. That was where we had to do a real big reality check with ourselves. Because it's very easy to just be like, well, our employees are lazy slugs.
Yeah.
It's not that they were lazy slugs. We weren't doing a good job of directing them. So
It was like one big thing we'll say is, and you probably have heard of this before from us if you listen to us, is it took our crews a long time to get out in the morning, and it was due to us because everybody had to go through, myself or my father at the time, on where they needed to go, what they needed to do, what equipment they needed, what materials they needed. And it was just taking forever. And we actually, after talking to that coach, we found that we spent $159,000 in unproductive time. And part of that was because our morning procedure was terrible.
it was so bad.
Or lack thereof. I guess there wasn't anything.
Yeah.
And,
So yeah, there's almost $200,000 that was just out the door.
Yep.
That we could have been putting into profits. We weren't paying ourselves that much.
No.
So we were wasting more money than we're paying ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the long and short of it. And then we have discovered we really like the teaching aspect of things. And so that's why we have started this podcast. This podcast is, well, it started off as kind of us just talking about everything we've kind of learned along the way, all the bumps and the bruises. We're just old now, and we've been through it all. It's
Well, not all, but we went through a lot.
went through a lot, I guess, for our size company.
Yeah.
You know, well, because we're called $1 Million Landscaper, because we help coach businesses that are about that million mark and under.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of our comfort zone. Ours is a little bit bigger than that, but really our comfort zone is those companies, is helping out companies that are usually at least around 100,000, have at least already kind of started, or are in that like side hustle to want to start up to $1 million.
Yeah.
Because
Well, like you said, the $1 million is what we know. We still to this day, we're in that $1 to $2 million range, and we're just comfortable with that. We know it.
no desire to bump up to
Yeah.
the big $5-10 million.
Yeah.
Like for some people, that's great.
Yep.
Go for it. Have
But
at
yeah,
it. But
so-
just not our biz.
So yeah, like Katie said, we started the podcast just to kind of share the information, and then
And that kind of grew into, as our podcast got more popular, that's why we've been bringing on we've just been making connections with other people out in the landscaping community.
well, there's so much out there that many of us were so busy tied up in the business working on things, we don't see what all is out there. And this is what really opened it up for us to kind of expand out to all these people that are out there. And you know, you go to the trade shows and stuff, that's awesome, but you never really get a chance to like really dig in unless it's something you're really interested in. So we get approached a lot of times by people, a lot of other companies that want to get their products out there. And we kind of,
we try to be a little bit of a BS filter for
Yeah.
you guys. If there's something out there that we genuinely think is good, and it is something, even if we have or have not used it, so a lot of this stuff is new that
Yeah.
we haven't used, but it's something we've looked into and we're like, oh, this is cool. This seems good. All right. Then we'll bring it on the
Yeah.
podcast. So our podcast has really kind of taken on this. Yeah, it's us talking about, you know, just landscaping business stuff that we went through too. But one of our goals for the podcast anyway has been to be able to bring you guys all of that information that is out there, because we know you don't have the time to figure it all out yourselves. So
Yeah, and this basically kind of then progressed into what we have as our $1 Million Academy. So we basically just taken a lot of the stuff that we've had learned over the years and just kind of compiled it into an online course that you can take to, you know, to learn your numbers, learn how to hire the right people.
yeah, it took us a lot of years to get all of this figured out because, once again, this was quite some time ago. Like the internet existed. We're not that old, but there was not like this, like one place you could go to find out all this information. We had to hire a very expensive one-on-one consultant. We had to go to, go to trade shows, take the courses, or like we said, order VHS tapes and have them sent to us in the mail and learn from things like that. So it took us a long time because there just wasn't like a great way to learn all of this at once. And so we really wanted to change the face of landscaping and like, as in like a new way to learn.
Yeah.
The internet is the magical world of the interwebs has granted us, you know, the ability to provide all of this information for everybody in one location.
Yeah.
So we have courses, we have coaching, and we have community for landscapers. So you all can just kind of expedite the process. You can just shorten that learning curve because everybody does kind of have to go through the learning process. But if we can make that shorter for you, then that is amazing. So
Yeah, we just don't want to see anybody struggling the way we did for years. And
it's terrible.
It's unnecessary. And that's why we have the academy. And that's why we try to make it as affordable as possible for everyone. I mean, I think it's,
yes, because people are like, why is this so inexpensive? Well, it's so inexpensive because we can do like group coaching and we can provide this on the internet. We don't have to come to your shop to help you. So did you just we can run through the courses that we have in there real quick. And we have them kind of in an order on purpose.
Yeah.
The first thing that we have people do is start learning how to price their work profitably.
Well, should we take a step back? And for people that have been listening to us for a while, we've heard us talk about the green growth method. Should we explain how we've kind of changed our stance a little bit?
Oh,
well, not
yeah.
stance,
if
but
you've
just
been listening
order.
for a while, we've had our green growth method, and that is all of the steps that we have inside of the academy. We have all of the same information. We just kind of put them in a better order that makes more sense.
Yeah, because the order we had before is good, but it was more for people that are
it was more established
further along
businesses.
Yes.
Yeah,
and we've been working with more startups, and people are changing from side hustles to full-time business, and that's great. We have that's awesome. But
when we first started, we weren't exactly sure who was going to need the help.
Yeah.
And we are finding that we've really been helping a lot of businesses that are literally just starting out or are a couple years in and are like getting to that whoa. Whoa. So
well, when we're finding people get stuck at certain revenue points, and so we basically kind of changed some of the stuff, the orders that we have inside the academy to make it a general.
We're just trying to help you all better. Like when we first started, like I said, we
took the steps that we did.
We were new to it, and so we were just figuring it out. And so so we've just put them in an order that makes sense with the customer in mind. That is more of a beginner. So don't ever think that we're not for you, because we were at the GIE Expo, and that was amazing. We got to meet a lot of you,
that was awesome.
And we did have some people though that thought that we were like, for these like bigger businesses and stuff like that, and we're like, no. We're here for the little guy. We're here for you. And so that's why these are in the order that they're in.
Yep.
So the first one is the pricing, because if you don't have your pricing on point, like you can sell your eyeballs out, but it doesn't matter if you're not making money. So
and this is exactly the issue we had. Everybody told us sell. Well, that's fine and dandy. We can sell the work, but if we weren't making money, then it doesn't help us any.
There's really no point. So honest to goodness, the first thing we have you do is just get your numbers on point.
Yep.
And that has been like life-changing for so many companies.
Oh, yeah. We actually just the other day, we had our live Q&A. I think it was the 23rd of November, if you're listening to it now. But it was the 23rd of November. Every month we do a live Q&A inside the academy. And people are in there talking about, how they love the spreadsheets, how they're actually starting to see the numbers and actually making strides in their business and starting putting money away. Actually, I should cut out a clip and put it in here. It was an awesome meeting. Not to hear us, I don't know, say that we're great, but it's awesome to hear the people making improvements in the business.
We do this. It makes us happy to see other people succeed. There is no bigger compliment in the world that we can receive than we helped you and your business is now making money. Literally why we're here.
Yeah, well, because the one member was talking about how, I don't remember exactly, but it was like, he started mowing yards for $25 $25 a yard, and
we're
looking
like,
back, so he's more than doubled, tripled that actually now, and just because he's able to start learning his numbers, learning what his true costs are, and he's making the budget, understanding what equipment costs are, what his labor's costing.
Well, there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not all necessarily intuitive things that you would think about if you aren't taught.
And
so.
The one thing I will say too, we teach you this stuff, but we also give you the spreadsheets to actually make it happen.
That's the bonus is it's not just the courses where you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to sit and read all this. No, we give you the spreadsheets as a bonus. We're like, here's the spreadsheets that we used in our business. These same spreadsheets we used, we give you so you can implement these things immediately, like as soon as you can. Put your information in and get your numbers spit out.
Well, it's plug and play. You just basically put in your information and it tells you out what it costs or, what you need to charge. And it just makes it very, very simple.
Right. So that's the first module. And there's quite a few courses, there's a lot that goes in there, but we've got it broken down super easy so you can get started getting those numbers on point right away. Then the second module is just marketing tactics because, now that you've got your pricing on point, now's the time to just start selling it.
Yep. Yeah, you have to be able to get yourself out there, and you have to be able to go more than, word of mouth and stuff. So we talk about some, just basic stuff as far as, getting Facebook set up, using Google My Business. One nice thing too, I'll throw in here is we have some marketing coaches inside the academy. We have Laura Reale of Landscape Marketing Secrets.
Yeah, check out her podcast if you've never listened to it. She's available in there for people to ask questions to, because we do not profess to know everything.
Oh, no. And we also have Carl Sorensen of Sites for Contractors.
Yeah, if you have like website questions, he's a great resource.
Yeah, so and he actually has his own landscape business, so he knows the industry. And same with Laura. Her husband owns a pond company, and they're in the industry. They know what needs to be done to succeed.
Yes, once, just like with the podcast, inside the academy, we really choose to only partner with people that know landscaping and know what they're talking about. We filter out everybody else. So the module 3 is your sales system, because now that you've got your numbers on point, you're marketing yourself. Now you got to start selling it.
Yep. And this is something we just added, actually. So we have some stuff in there, but we're actually looking to grow this section tremendously. Basically just taking you through the whole sales process and from the time the customer calls all the way through to the job is complete.
Yeah, we're beefing this one up. It doesn't have the most. We have other modules that have more in it, but we're always continually adding stuff and making it better. So because like we said, we give you everything that we use, but sales were never really a problem for us.
But actually looking back at some of the things, it's
things you could do better.
Yeah, and it's setting up those system procedures to be able to improve on that, because you can go. Yeah. You have to be able to have some kind of procedure, otherwise you can't prepare.
Well, and different people have every business is going to have different strengths and weaknesses, and so this is just somewhere that we'll get that all beefed up. Yep. We've got plenty of awesome ideas of things that are going to be going in there. I'm not here. We're like making it sound terrible. It's not. It's fine. So then the next module is your essential business processes, and this is really where once you kind of get your business up and going, and you feel yourself, you get to maybe like 200,000-300,000, and you're starting to get stuck, and you're starting to get a little panicky. It's probably because you start needing to really putting processes in. Yeah. Or otherwise you're going to run out of hours in the day, and you're going to run out of energy, and you're just going to burn out. Yeah.
You may think, I only have 1 employee or 2 employees. I don't really need these. You do need these.
And the earlier you start, the better. It's harder to do them later when you have more employees, because that's just more people you have to reteach this stuff to. Yep. And it's harder to
change habits
once they've already established bad ones. So have good ones from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that section I really love. I love doing the system procedures on dirt. Yeah. But it's something that you can automatically start seeing make a change in your business. So it was a huge eye opener for us. Like I talk about checklists.
We give you all of the ones that we used in our business, plus even more, because we don't want you to have to reinvent the wheel and make these all yourself. There might be some that are very specific to your business that you can make, but we've got courses in there that show you how to easily do that. But we give you a whole ton. Slap your name on them, call them yours, and use them. Yeah, just get it done.
So we had the procedures, we have the checklist in there. Yeah, something as simple as like, does your team know what to do if they get in an accident? Is there a procedure on that?
This is probably something that you don't ever think about, but we've got a whole procedure in there, because people might panic a little bit or get really nervous if that happens. And so if you have that done for them, then that can just kind of center them like, oh, okay, here, I just got to do this, and this. You're not going to have like the panic.
Fill out this report, everything. Yeah. It's all done for you. So.
Yep. And module 5 is building your team, because this is key. We our kind of, I don't know, saying whatever is you have to hire, train, and retain. That's like our 3-step process. We have processes inside of processes. 3-step processes. You got to hire them, then you got to train them, and then you've got to have retention strategies in place. So we have processes in those processes.
Yeah, and again, there's more done for you. We have job applications specific for like lawn maintenance jobs. Questionnaires. It's all laid out. Job descriptions. We have employee handbooks, employee write-up forms. It's, again, everything that we use in our business that you can kind of take, when you start growing and you start having to do skills assessment, performance evaluations. It's all in there. It's all done for you.
All done for you.
We have a bonus
once again,
system.
We've got a course that shows you what you need and how to use it. And then we've already got it done for you. So you could just take it and implement it right away.
Yep.
So those are the course modules. Like I said, the bonus is then we just kind of give you any process, spreadsheet, anything that we use, give it to you. We have coaching available, because we do have different levels inside of the academy. So depending on which level you join at, you can do one-on-one coaching with Scott. You can do once a month, 90-minute phone call. It's a 90-minute call, because that sounds like a long time, but it goes quicker than you think.
Yeah, it
like
does.
if you really want to dig into the meats of your business, it takes that long.
Yeah, we were doing it for an hour, and they're awesome, but you start really looking at it, the first couple minutes, you're just kind of BSing with a person. Hey, how's it going? How's family? Like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't want that. I didn't want to like be rude and like, all right, let's cut this off. Let's get going, because.
But you need all of that time.
Yeah.
So we've bumped it up to that hour and a half just to make sure that you're getting enough time to, like I said, get in there and get her done.
Yep.
And if one-on-one coaching isn't something that you can afford or are looking for right now, then there's also group coaching. If you join at our more basic level, Scott's got office hours every week where you can just kind of pop in and ask questions. There's once a month a live Q&A session in the evening, so you can hop on and ask questions there. Yep. And you can interact with other people in the academy, and it's great.
Yep. And then if you are in the higher program, the premium program, we do have an accountability program too. Mm-hmm. So once a month we have that, where you meet up with people in the academy. We find out, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and try to help you overcome those obstacles.
Some people just need that accountability. Mm-hmm. That extra, like, if you don't commit to it and say it out loud and say you're going to do this and write down like, hey, here's what I'm going to do. It's easy to like wiggle yourself out of it and be like, oh, I'll just do it next month.
Well, this is something that really helped us early on when I was in an accountability program.
Yeah.
And they would keep me on track and help push me along, creating these system procedures and getting those set up, because otherwise I would just kept on working. But the group of guys that were in it helped push me along, and I loved it.
Accountability is important. Yeah,
it is.
It's easy to just be like, meh.
Well, and I honestly, the more people I talk to that are successful, not even just in the landscaping industry, in other industries, they have their own accountability groups they're into, or mastermind group, whatever you like to call it. But they have somebody to help hold them accountable, or whether it's coaching or coaches, whatever it is.
Why we have the coaching, and our next thing is we have community. We've got a Facebook page where you can talk to other people, because it is that accountability in that community that really helps out. You're not alone.
Yep.
It's so hard to go through this alone.
It is.
You're not alone. You can get help. We're here to provide coaching. Other people are here to help out too. So. You're really taking the hard road if you're trying to go alone. And
honestly, a lot of people too, we're seeing, they think they have a unique problem to their business. More than likely
Somebody
not.
Else has probably had. I'm sorry. We're not saying you're not special. No. Everybody is their own little special. But
we would do the same thing early on.
Yeah, everybody's got the same pretty common problems.
When we first started saying no, we started going through and learning our numbers, and we need to charge more. No, we can't charge. We're different here. It's not.
We're not
different.
The same.
No, it's the same thing everywhere. So
yeah.
But it's an awesome program. We love it. We love teaching people. We love seeing our members get results out of it. But
we do. We're on a mission for there to be no broke landscapers. Yep. Because it's kind of ridiculous that in this industry, people will settle for less than they're worth. Mm-hmm. And that was something that really came through as I was talking to people. Like, the more we go out to like the expos and talk to people live, I just really want everybody to know that you can charge more and you can charge what you're worth. I'm not saying that there's like a self-esteem issue, but landscapers are good, hardworking folk. And I think that they're just like, oh, I can't do that, or can't do this, or oh, this is going to be too hard. No, it's really not. You can do this, and you deserve more, and you deserve better for the amount of work and time that you put into your business. Make it worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my little got up on my soapbox there.
Well, it is. And otherwise it's just kind of becoming a hobby.
No, that's a really horrible hobby.
Well, it makes things so much harder.
You're here to make money. Yeah. We're not saying money rules the world, but it is your job. It's your livelihood. You're doing it to support your family. You've probably seen our dog has been in, if you're watching this on YouTube, in the video the whole time. You've got dogs to feed. You've got kids to feed. So you deserve to make the money that you're worth. So
absolutely.
You're worth investing in yourself, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, anything else you want to say about that? I hope this was like a pretty good, just like I said, reintroduction to Scott and I, if you're new around here. And that's kind of just the gist of our $1 Million Academy. If you want to check it out, you can just go to milliondollarlandscaper.com. All the links are there.
Yep. If you want to actually check out more of the Academy, like what we have in there, milliondollarlandscaper.com/academy. But yes, that'll take you directly to the page that kind of describes it. And if you have any question anywhere and you want to find out more, you want to get a kind of behind the scenes tour, let me know.
I think on the page you can sign up for a 15-minute phone call with Scott if you just want a real quick discovery call. If you've got a question, let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah, and then like right now, I will say now is the perfect time for many of us because we start slowing down. You know, we're not out in the field as much working. Take advantage of it, and whether it's use our program, get books, whatever it is, do something to improve your business. I mean, I would love it if you joined our program, but
joining the academy is great. But if not, continue. Keep listening to the podcast. Just invest in yourself. I guess is what we're just kind of getting at.
Yeah, you have to. We are doing it still now at
running,
44 years old. We're still doing it.
Well, and we started this online business with this academy. We don't know how to run an online business. So guess what? We get coaching. We have a coach that helps us because we want to shorten our learning curve. We don't want it to take 10 years to figure out how to run an online business. We want it to be much shorter. So we're investing in ourselves. It's the same no matter what kind of business you're in. Learn from those who've already gone ahead of you. Learn from the people that have already done it.
Yeah, that's a great thing too about the live Q&As and the Facebook group, because there's people out there that are growing or maybe a step ahead of you, and you can pick their brain on things.
Absolutely.
So that's the same thing we're still doing today. Today I had a phone call with another gentleman that does a podcast and just discussing people. It's a great opportunity to be able to reach out. So.
With the way the world is now, the information's out there.
Yeah.
Like there's online academies like we've got, there's podcasts, there's book. The information's out there. It's up to you to go get it and use it. So
one quick thing I wanted to say, if anybody, if you find this useful and our podcast useful, we would love for you to reach out and leave a review for us. So you can head to iTunes.
That would be great. I think the reviews help get our rankings up so we can reach more landscapers.
Yeah,
so
we just want to get our name out there, help more people. So we would love for you to head over to iTunes and leave a review. We'll put a link in the show notes. But
yep. All right. Okay. We'll wrap it up here with some questions for Scott.
Yep.
Scott, would you ever consider writing to someone in jail as a pen pal?
Probably not.
No,
I don't really have time to
not going
help
that
out
route. I don't, these are some very random questions.
Yes.
Well, funny story. Our dog did go to jail.
He did.
Once again, if you're watching this on video, he keeps popping his head in there. We have a retired racing greyhound, and there is a program in Michigan where these dogs that are coming off the track can go and learn how to be dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs straight off the racetrack, they don't know how to be a pet.
Yeah.
And so they go through this program. They learn how to, just sit, stay, be a dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
It sounds funny, but because we got him right off the track, and he would do things like walk into glass doors because their spatial awareness just isn't, I don't know how to describe it unless you've done it. But anyway, so Martin did go to jail. So that if I was going to write anybody in jail, I think it would be entertaining to hear from the inmates that do work with these dogs all the time, because that has to be like a funny process. Yeah. So I don't know. That's all right. What's the dumbest way you've been injured?
Oof.
There's probably a lot to pick from.
Done
a lot of dumb things.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start with that one.
I'm like, I know a couple.
Well, I've clipped my fingers with some shears.
That's where I was going. You clipped off the end of your own finger.
And it's usually just because I've done something stupid or I turned my head, wasn't paying attention. I've used the saw, cut my finger open. I was rotating a big rock the one time and it got stuck between the bucket of the skidster and the rock, and I couldn't get my fingers out. That was a fun one. Yeah. That one slid it open.
That one was that sounds like a genuine accident. The dumbest one I was thinking of is when you literally snipped your own hand with the snippers because you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, I think I looked up and had my fingers in there a little too close holding the whatever it was I was cutting. Yeah. Those are probably some of the dumbest ones. Yeah. I remember when I was little, I threw a rock up in the air, probably a softball sized rock, and it landed on my head. I don't know why I did it. I couldn't tell you. I remember trying to hide it from my parents, and I told my sisters who were around me not to tell.
Yeah. Because I'm sure they ratted you out immediately.
I don't think they did. I think
your sisters didn't?
I don't think so.
If this happened now.
Because I probably would have needed stitches. It was a pretty good gash.
Oh my gosh.
Darwin
Award. All right. Do you have any superstitions? Is there anything you're superstitious? Well, you're a fireman. Scott's a fireman as well. So a firehouse seems like that it would be full of
No, there's not a lot. I mean, it was actually when I worked last night we kept hearing a door slamming.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird, but that's not really superstitious. This might just be the ghost that lives there.
It might just be haunted, but I didn't know if you had any superstitions. I don't know.
No, I remember when I was little, I played basketball. I had to doing free throws, you had to like bounce it like 7 times and throw
he
it twice.
That's more like a little routine, little
I'm
ritual.
not really a superstitious person. No.
No. All right.
Pretty boring.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us today. And definitely check out the Academy. We'd love for you to be part of it. Love for you to grow your business with it.
Absolutely. Now is the time to get in there. Like Scott said, everybody's usually got a little bit more time this time of year. So we'd love to see you in there.
Yeah, and like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can personally email me at scott@milliondollarlandscaper.com too.
All right.
All right, guys. Hope you have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.